She didn't believe in miracles anymore. Until one day, one email, and one deposit in her bank account changed everything. If you've ever looked at your balance and felt your soul sink, this is your story too. Purple Circle. Her name is Elena. At 42, she never thought she'd have to start over from zero. Not at this age. Not after everything she had already survived. Not when she had spent her whole life trying to do the right thing. She did what they told her. Work hard. Stay married. Don't take risks. Be grateful for what you have. Don't ask for too much. And yet, there she was, sitting at a small kitchen table in a small apartment, surrounded by bills and fear. In her mind, she kept hearing, "You're too old to start again. You're never going to make it. This time, there's no rescue." But what she didn't know is that this apparent rock bottom was actually a spiritual turning point. This isn't a story about overnight riches. It's about alignment, self-worth, and a very real manifestation that arrived when she finally surrendered. Stay with me until the very end, because what happened to her might change the way you talk to money, to the universe, and to yourself. The money wound. Elena didn't just wake up one day afraid of money. She grew up watching her parents whisper in the kitchen whenever bills came in. Voices low, faces tense. Her mother saying, "We'll figure something out," like always. Her father staring at the table, jaw clenched, muttering, "Money doesn't grow on trees. Life is hard." She was the girl who heard, "We can't afford that. Do you think we're made of money? People like us never get ahead." She learned early that money meant stress, arguments, shame, tightness in the chest. She promised herself that, as an adult, she would be different. She'd be responsible, disciplined, good with money, and for a while, she was. A stable job, a stable marriage, a stable life. But there's a kind of stability that isn't peace. It's fear in disguise. Fear of losing what you have. Fear of change. Fear of listening to that quiet, unsettling voice that says, "This isn't it. You're meant for more." Elena heard that voice for years, but every time it came, she pushed it down. "I should be grateful. I have a house. I have a husband. I have a paycheck. Who am I to want more?" But the soul doesn't care about should. It cares about truth. And when you ignore truth long enough, life rearranges things for you. Sometimes gently, sometimes not. Purple Circle. The end of her marriage didn't come with a dramatic explosion. It came with a long, slow disconnect. At some point, they stopped laughing, stopped talking about dreams, stopped touching each other with softness. They became business partners in a life neither of them truly loved. Her husband's words grew colder over time. "You're always anxious. You don't understand money. If it weren't for me, you'd be lost." It hurt, but a part of her believed him. It was easier to believe there was something wrong with her than to admit there was something deeply wrong with the life they'd built. Then came the conversation. No yelling, no plates thrown, just two people at a table, finally telling the truth they had both avoided. "I don't want this anymore," he said. "I want out." A part of her broke. Another part of her quietly exhaled. Divorce. The word alone carried lawyers, paperwork, numbers, negotiations, splitting things that were once ours into his and hers. Except hers was much smaller. The house was gone. Savings drained by legal fees and debts. The illusion of security shattered. She moved into a tiny apartment with thin walls and cheap furniture. Every sound from the neighbors reminded her she wasn't in her home anymore. She'd look around the room and think, at my age, this is where I ended up. Outside, she kept it together. Inside, she was drowning. And the worst part? She still believed what he always told her. You're terrible with money. You'll never be able to handle life alone. Those words echoed in her mind, like a curse. Fighting numbers in the dark. They see the move, the divorce, the new beginning. But they don't see the nights. The nights when she sat on the edge of her bed, phone in hand, opening and closing her banking app, over and over again, as if the numbers might change. Just because she was desperate enough. She had a job, but after rent, food, transportation, and basic bills, there was almost nothing left. No emergency fund, no safety net, no plan B. Every unexpected expense felt like an attack, a prescription, a broken appliance, a bill she forgot. It all chipped away at a fragile sense of control. She started waking up at 3 a.m. most nights, heart pounding, breathing shallow, mind racing through every worst-case scenario. What if I lose this job? What if I can't pay rent? What happens when my car finally dies? What if this is my life forever? She didn't tell her friends how bad it was. She smiled, said, I'm managing. But the truth was, every time she opened her wallet, she felt a mixture of shame and panic. She began to hate money, to see it as this cruel, distant thing that never stayed, never came easily, always reminded her she was behind. One night, exhausted from crying, she dropped her head onto the kitchen table, fingers still stained with ink from circling numbers on bills. And she said something she'd never said before. I can't do this anymore. I don't know what else to try. If there is anything out there listening, I need help. I'm not asking for luxury, not for millions. I just want to breathe. I want to feel safe. I want to feel like life isn't punishing me. It was messy, not a pretty prayer, not a perfect meditation, but it was real. And real is where the spiritual meets the human. Nothing magical happened the next morning. No winning lottery ticket. No sudden deposit. No mysterious check in the mail. What happened was quieter. She woke up feeling different, still scared, still tired. But there was something new. A little less resistance. A little more softness. As she made her coffee, a thought surfaced. If nothing changes on the outside, maybe I need to change something on the inside. Not the toxic self-blame. Not, I'm the problem. But, what if my relationship with money, and with myself, is part of the blockage? That day, instead of scrolling numbly on her phone, she typed, "How to heal your relationship with money," into YouTube. She found videos about energy, about limiting beliefs, about the law of attraction, about manifestation, not as wishful thinking, but as aligning your inner world with what you want to experience externally. She listened to people explain that money is not just numbers, it's a relationship, and it hit her. She had been speaking to money the way someone speaks to an enemy. I hate this. It's never enough. It's always a problem. Would you stay close to someone who talked to you like that? She realized she wasn't just afraid of money. She resented it, feared it, rejected it. She placed her hand on her heart and, for the first time, said something completely different. Okay, I've been at war with this for too long. I'm willing to learn a new way. I'm willing to stop cursing my reality and start opening to something better. I don't know how. I don't know when. But I am willing. That one word, willing, began to change her vibration. She started a small daily ritual. Every morning, before she touched her phone, she took 3 deep breaths, put her hand on her chest, and said, I am open to new opportunities. I am open to being supported. I am open to money coming in ways I can't yet imagine. Then, instead of thinking, I'm broke, I'm stuck, nothing works, she began gently catching herself. When she heard her mind say, money is so hard, she would add, and maybe it doesn't always have to be. When she heard, I never get lucky, she would correct, I'm learning to receive. I'm learning to see chances I didn't see before. She wasn't pretending everything was perfect. She was practicing a new story, moving with the universe. Here's the part most people misunderstand. Manifestation is not just about sitting still and visualizing. It's about aligning your energy and then taking the inspired steps that appear. As she softened her inner dialogue, Elena began to feel tiny nudges. Update your CV. Reach out to that old colleague. Look into freelance jobs. Take that course you've been postponing. None of this brought money overnight, but it did something even more important. It shifted her from paralyzed to in motion, from victim to participant, from life is happening to me to I am co-creating my way out of this. She cleaned a corner of her apartment and turned it into a small abundance altar. Not something complicated, just a candle, a small plant, a few affirmations on paper. I deserve stability. I am safe to receive. Opportunities are already looking for me. Every time fear rose up like a wave, she would sit by that little corner and breathe through it, not denying it, not bypassing it, but saying, yes, I'm scared, and yes, I'm still open. One evening, during a walk, she looked at the sunset, the sky full of orange, purple, and gold, and she had a thought. Nature is always replenishing. There is always more sunrise, more wind, more rain, more life. Could it be that abundance isn't scarce? I just never felt like I was part of it. For the first time, she didn't feel ashamed for wanting more. She felt invited. Purple circle. The email that looked like a coincidence. About a month and a half after that night, at the kitchen table, Elena was at work, half distracted, half exhausted. Her eyes burned from the screen. Her inner critic was louder than usual. You should be further ahead. Look at you. Starting over. at this age. She almost went into that familiar spiral. But she paused, hand on heart. A quiet inner correction. I am not late. I am on my path. And there are things aligning that I can't see yet. Seconds later, her email notification pinged. She almost ignored it. But the subject line caught her eye. I thought of you for this. Her stomach flipped. She clicked. It was from a woman she had worked with years before. They weren't close friends, but they had always respected each other. The email read, Hi Elena. I hope you're doing well. I recently started working at a new company, and we're looking for someone to manage a big project on a contract basis. It's remote, flexible, and the pay is very good. When we were discussing who could fit this role, you popped into my mind immediately. Would you be open to chatting about it? Her first reaction? This can't be real. Then, why me? I'm not ready. I'll probably mess it up. Fear. The old script. But under the fear, there was that now familiar whisper. This is one of the doors you asked for. She didn't feel 100% confident, but she felt 1% braver than before. And sometimes, 1% is all you need. With trembling fingers, she replied, Yes, I'd be happy to talk. Thank you for thinking of me. When preparation meets grace. The hours leading up to the call, she almost talked herself out of it. What if I sound stupid? What if they realize I'm a fraud? What if they're expecting someone better? Imposter syndrome, old money wounds, the familiar fear of not being enough. So, once again, she went to her little abundance corner. She lit the candle, closed her eyes, and whispered, Universe, if this is for me, help me show up as who I really am. Help me speak clearly. Help me remember my value. If this is not for me, let it pass and bring what is. On the call, things felt strangely natural. They didn't interrogate her. They had a conversation. Her former colleague said, We need someone who's organized, good with people, able to handle multiple things at once, without losing the big picture. Honestly, I remember you doing exactly that years ago. You always went above and beyond. I told them, I know someone who could do this with her eyes closed. Elena almost laughed. She remembered those years differently, constantly doubting herself, never feeling like she was doing enough, never receiving much recognition. Yet here was someone who had seen her differently all along. They explained the project, the responsibilities. Then they said the number, their budget, her potential pay. Her mind almost froze. It was more than double what she was currently earning. 4 fewer hours. With flexibility. Her first instinct was to push it away. That's too much. I don't deserve that. They must be mistaken. But she caught herself. She remembered all those mornings, hand on heart, saying, I am open to being valued. I am open to being compensated in ways that reflect my worth. So she took a breath and said, Thank you. It sounds fair. I would love to contribute to this project. At the end of the call, her colleague smiled and said, To be honest, we were considering a few people, but my intuition says you're the right one. If you're in, I'd like to move forward with you. She muted her microphone for a second, pressed her hand against her mouth, and cried silently. When she unmuted, her voice was steady. "I'm in. Thank you for trusting me." A few days later, she received the contract and the first payment. Her fingers hesitated before opening the banking app. What if it fell through? What if something went wrong? But there it was, a number so different from what she was used to seeing that she had to check twice. She stared at the screen, heart pounding, enough to clear the overdue bills, enough to stop living week to week, enough to make her feel, for the first time in a long time, "I'm not drowning anymore." She put the phone down, walked to the window, and let it sink in. This was not a lottery win, not a random gift, not money falling from the sky. It was money arriving through a door she could never have forced open, but that she had slowly aligned herself with, through healing, through willingness, through new thoughts, through small courageous actions. She thought back to that night at the kitchen table, crying over bills. The version of her that said, "I can't do this alone." She wanted to hug that woman, and in a way, she did. She closed her eyes and whispered, "We did it. We're not where we want to be yet, but we're not where we were. Thank you, thank you, thank you." Not just to the universe, but to herself, for not giving up, for daring to believe in the possibility of more. If you're still listening, this story is not random. Maybe your numbers are heavy right now. Maybe your chest tightens every time you think about money. Maybe you feel cursed, forgotten, left out of the abundance everyone talks about. I won't insult you by pretending that your situation isn't serious, or that affirmations alone will fix everything overnight. But I will tell you this. Sparkles, your current reality is not a sentence. Sparkles, your money story is not fixed. Sparkles, you are not destined to struggle forever. And you are definitely not alone. Somewhere inside you, there is a version of you who already knows how it feels to be safe, supported, and provided for. A version who doesn't panic at every bill, who doesn't shrink in shame when talking about money, who doesn't feel like a burden to life. You don't have to know how to get there today. You don't have to pretend you're not scared, but you can do what Elena did. You can start here, hand on heart, deep breath, and say, "I am open to new opportunities. I am open to financial miracles. I am open to unexpected doors opening for me. I am open to seeing myself as worthy of more." Not because you're greedy, but because you're done living in constant fear. You are allowed to want peace. You are allowed to want stability. You are allowed to want more than survival. And sometimes, the moment you genuinely open, life begins quietly rearranging things on your behalf. Not in one big dramatic scene, but in small, almost invisible ways that suddenly add up to a new reality. If this story touched something inside you, don't let it be just another video you watched. Anchor it. In the comments, write, "Sparkles, I am open to financial miracles." Sparkles. Write it as a declaration, as a starting point, as a quiet agreement between you and the universe. If you want more emotional, spiritual stories about awakening, healing, prosperity, and the real-life law of attraction, backhand index pointing right like this video, Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe to Soul Shift Stories. Backhand index pointing right. Turn on notifications, so you don't miss the next story. That might be the message your soul has been waiting for. You are not behind. You are not a failure. You are in the middle of a shift. And maybe, just like Elena, your miracle has already started moving in your direction. When she had nothing left, the universe opened a door. Emotional misterioso sugera malagar / manifesticaliga com espiritualidade. Universe. Altamente clickavel.